This is The Healthy Healer, where true voice is your medicine. This is where we help doctors and other healers navigate through the challenging times by learning from the best minds in the healing industry. Laugh, cry, and be surprised. It's entertainment, education, and inspiration so you can continue to be the unique and amazing healer you were destined to be. Welcome to humanity. Welcome to The Healthy Healer with Dr. Fred.
Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Fred, and welcome back to another amazing episode of The Healthy Healer. And I just want to tell you that the guest we have today, I met her real briefly one evening last year when I was in Austin with my friends, and we were on our way to creating a podcast event, which ended up not actually materializing. And there was a couple of my friends there, Tony and Eric and me. And we were kind of mulling around this area in Austin, meeting people. And this person was so effervescent and just, really charismatic and stepped up to us and wanted to meet us. And we wanted to meet her. And I met her and she met me. And we decided that there is a great conversation to be had and that someday soon she would be on my podcast. So today is that day. It's been nearly a year because Austin City Limits is going on now. And I'm not sure that I guess it's been a little bit less than a year, a few months ago. It was maybe in February or early March. And so I guess that was about 6 or 7 months ago. And so my opportunity today and the honor and privilege I have today is to introduce you, my audience, to our amazing guest, Helena Summer, who, again, is from Austin and has lots to say about how to become a healthy healer and her very unique ride to that outcome. Helena, welcome so much for being on. Welcome, for being on the Healthy Healer Show.
Thank you for creating this show to showcase people and to introduce everyone to the idea that there is a healer, unhealthy, healthy.
Yeah.
And all this woo-woo and drama about those two words. This is very brave of you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And it's great to have you on. I think you're just kind of like you're kind of like the poster child, if you will, for a healthy healer. You've come up from such an interesting background. And I know that there's been things in your life recently. I've been reading some of your posts. Some important things happened even this week that we may be able to touch on. But there's an opportunity to really get, Helena, who you are. And that's what I'm going to start this podcast with, is my most famous question that I'd like to ask people. It's a 9-letter question. It's fully grammatically correct, and it really covers a lot. And it often leaves people, I don't think it'll leave you in the dust, but it leaves people on their heels. And that question is, Helena Summer, who are you?
I think about that often.
Yeah.
Who am I? I love, therefore I am. When I don't love, I am not. Whenever I'm lost in touch with myself, what is really lacking is some kind of connection to love. When I feel love, I feel me. That's me. Love is me. But if I show up with my story and my drama, there is no me. Looks like me, but there is no me. If I show up with kindness, there is me. Yeah.
So say again, you said something really interesting. I love, therefore I am, which of course is a play on the Descartes quote. And then there's something about if I don't love, say, what was the...
Something is missing. I am missing. It's like a artificial. There is a fruit that looks so plastic. I mean, that looks real, but it's plastic. So if I don't show up with my love, I'm like a flower that doesn't smell. There is no flavor to me. There is no me. There is a body, lights are on, but I'm not at home.
It's really great. So there's something about the essence that you're speaking to. This is something underneath this body of yours, which, it can get a lot of attention if you look and, like plastic roses, like you said, or a plastic vase can get a lot of attention. And people are like, is that real? They look at a bouquet of plastic flowers, and it can be very attractive because they can be built to simply for the eye and not for any kind of connection. No smell, no pollen, no bees. Bees are not falling for that nonsense, by the way. There's no bees that are coming up to a plastic rose to see if they want to pollinate it. Bees can see the real deal. And there's something here about the real deal that you're speaking of. I love, therefore I am. There's something very beautiful in the middle of that has who you have become in the world actually materialized. So what is the work? Can you share with my listeners, what is the actual work that you do on a day-to-day basis? If it's called work.
Yeah, looks like for some people work, but to me it's really, I was born to teach love. And what I do, I help people in their relationships, not just romantic relationship, also with family members and other. I help them in their relationships with self, with others, not in a way, here is a conflict resolution system. Here is, no, I help them be more of them. So the partner becomes more of him or her, and they can really connect. And even for single people, there are dating strategies and formulas which are so valuable, but only if you're a real flower.
Right.
Right. And many people are just, okay, I check hair, long nails, makeup, blah, 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 but something is missing. So
Right.
I help you get that something and help you bring that something out so we can have actually really powerful relationships.
Okay, so inside these powerful relationships, again, I'm moved by this idea that you're speaking more about the essence, like the juicy essence of what's underneath our body, or maybe not what's underneath, what is different than our body. Our body is the shell that from which we get to drag around this dimension with, but there's something there's something about who we are as people, and I think you're speaking to all of us, has this essence, this juicy essence of connectability, of of a tribal connectivity that maybe we can connect with other people through the love that we have for ourselves and for humanity. Is this getting closer to what you're talking about?
Yeah. It's everything is open for interpretation because we can digest information based on our calories. If you have calories for intense information, it will come. If you don't, just the superficial is enough. So this is why building yourself from inside, essentially as an essence, increases your calories so you can digest
Interesting. That's beautiful. So let me ask a question that comes up is, in order to learn or in order to grow, in order to transform, in order to become more connected to my actual essence so that I have a capacity not only to love my romantic partner and not only to love my friends and family, but to actually love as a way of being. Is there any kind of effort or memory involved in that growth process? Or do I just simply become one who knows how to love when I'm working with you? Is there some sort of wisdom that gets embedded in me that I don't have to try or remember anything? I don't have to study? Or is this something, do I just get immersed in it and become love? Or is it something that I have to actually work at?
I believe that depends on, as I said, how many calories we have for something. Sometimes you actually have to work on letting go of the masks and facade and fakeness that you developed in order to survive this cruel world. So you develop idea who is Fred, but there is also this other idea who is Fred, right? So the work, big work is letting go of those things. And then it's like does a flower take work to bloom?
No, I would say a flower does not have to work to bloom.
Right? But if the flower is stuck with the spider web or something around it, would it
It
have
won't. Right.
right? Or it will have to work harder. Depends how much of the spider web is around it, right? Or it
Right.
will develop deformed.
Interesting. So there, in some ways, there is like an effort or a counter, like an energy that I have to come up with to sort of fight against or at least oppose what's in the way of me naturally being the love that I am, in my essence. There's something that's blocking me from being all of the love that I could be.
Yes.
Yes.
If you think about anything, your intelligence, your knowledge about things, your skills, your muscles, you had to work to build it.
Mhm.
Yes, if you are 300 pounds overweight, it will be really hard. But if you are pretty healthy, it will be fun. This is
Right.
why I'm talking about how many calories you have to process the world. So,
Hmm.
on our essential level, growth into love is so fun. It's
Yeah.
not work, it's playful and it's interesting and it's magical.
So
Opposite,
are those,
yes.
yeah, playful, interesting, magical, are those love words? Are those part of what, when one is in love or connected with love, are, yeah, it seems like they often get used, like synonyms,
Mm.
or key components of love include playfulness and being interested and being magical. That love has that going on for it. Is that fair to say?
Just look at the baby.
Yeah.
Look at the baby, you have a headache and you just melt anyway.
Yeah.
The little baby, 2, 3-year-old, whatever child does something, it just melts everyone in the room,
Right.
right? It just comes easily. Versus different love, when you fall in love and you become all crazy because you are infatuated, and then you cannot sleep and you kill yourself when the person doesn't reply to your text message. That's not magical playfulness. That's infatuation. That's another completely different story.
Okay, so let's look for a moment at the difference between, just if you can give us a little thumbnail of your understanding about the difference, because a lot of my friends and probably a lot of your friends say, like, I love her, or I just fell in love, or I met someone last night and I'm in love.
Mhm.
And more than likely, that's a infatuation based, lusty based experience um, that's being mistaken for love, really. What is the difference between infatuation and love?
Brain is on cocaine called love, and it's so high and thinks I'm invincible, she's perfect, everything is great. When it comes to the real love, it's there is a purity and gentleness,
Hmm.
like a baby, as I said, example, like a puppy. When you look at the nature and just feels, I belong here. This is me. There is certain level of harmony that still tickles your soul, but it doesn't make you go out of yourself in a crazy manner. It
Hmm.
makes you feel alive. It makes you feel, wow, yes, thank you, wow. Versus, oh my God, this is the best. I'm in love, Justin Bieber, wow.
Yeah, that's like a surging kind of, it's a dope. It seems in the present days, a lot of times the word that's getting thrown around are this notion of a dopamine bump, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like we're after this surging cocaine level
yeah,
dopamine bump.
yeah.
And we often mistake that wonderful, it's a wonderful feeling. I've had it, and it's pretty remarkable. And on the other hand, it's not to be equated or mistaken for love if what I really am after is love with a capital L.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Great.
how does it work? When I am love, am I going to be love with the whole world? Am I loving everything? Am I loving even the things I don't love? I mean, what am I being when it seems to me, this was true last time we met and the couple contacts we've had since then, that you have a level of sort of an awareness or a congruence, you have like a consistent sense of really enjoying things, enjoying the world, enjoying people, enjoying men, enjoying, children, enjoying the notion of love.
Yeah.
Is that something one can expect when they work with you or when they come in contact with you, that they too can head in that direction?
I don't make it as a plan, but it usually happens.
I see.
Yeah. I don't
Oh.
sell them the idea, oh, you will be in love with your life and you will. No, we just go with what they want as a goal. But in this process of, like a banana, banana is delicious, but only if you throw away the peel, otherwise
Again.
it's disgusting,
Yeah.
right? So we peel off the peel and they eat their own self banana. They're like, wow, I'm delicious. And then they get infatuated by themselves. Uh, very, very often people say, I feel more alive. I never had such sense of myself. No wonder people love me. I'm finally meeting men everywhere. They are good people everywhere. It's really beautiful. But I don't want to go. There is a problem in today's world. Most people are comfort seekers. So they will say all the flowery language, beautiful, fancy, sweet, love things, but they don't have a visceral experience. They are just looking for comfort and saying,
Mhm.
oh, everything will be nice. We are all positive, blah, blah. It's masking the reality.
I see. Yeah.
It's like feeding your virtual baby and letting your real baby starve of malnutrition.
Mm. Interesting.
It
So
is a
there
true
is
story, believe it or not, it happened to Korean couple. They
what
wanted babies so much and they got a virtual baby. They were feeding video games, whatever, with that baby. She finally gets pregnant. And at the age of, I don't know, 4, 6 months, baby died of malnutrition
mm.
because they
Hmm.
were feeding virtual babies. So crazy.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
really interesting. So it seems like this is an area that's like well, it's an area like halfway in between. It's an area where we are feeding things that aren't necessarily the essence of love. We spend our time sort of chasing something down and looking like love,
Mhm.
and in fact, that's not love at all. There's some sort. It's another variant of love that is being mistaken for love. Yes,
Yes. Yes.
exactly. Okay. Well, so when how do we actually get to what kind of method do you use, or is it a dance? Do you have a methodology, or are you just listening for what's missing? Do you feel like you have a special skill set? What makes you qualified to help me or anyone else find love in our relationships with others and ourselves?
Yeah. Um, when people come to me, they are often at the place when they know something is missing and I'm willing to do some work. It's not like a Ouija board. I'm just having fun. Let's no. There is a seriousness because when you are serious, there is that investment of your own calories. That you take yourself seriously and you treat yourself lovingly. My methods, yes, I did a lot of studies and trainings, but my methods were developed as part of my story in the war in the refugee camp.
Mm,
And I was in a refugee camp alone with no family. I was accidentally in the middle of the beginning of the war. I was not in my hometown. I was at the meditation retreat that was in 1991. I was 16 years old. And they had this meditation retreat by Maharishi Yogi, TM,
yeah,
you heard of? Yeah. Because we believed we can have peace in Croatia if 1% of population meditates.
we're right.
So I went there for 30 days and I could not come back home because my hometown was occupied. And train station, the train, how you call those things?
The
Tracks?
railroad track, yeah.
Yes, railroad tracks were destroyed,
Mm,
bombed. And I could not come back. I had nowhere to go. So I ended up in a refugee camp alone. And I come there and I'm like, what is this? After 30 days of meditating 5, 7, 8 times a day, you end up in a people were gray. Refugees are gray. They have no energy. There's like a ghosts around them. You can feel the energy. And those were heavy duty refugees who saw their only women, children, and few very, very old men. They saw their brothers and husbands being slaughtered. There was a terrible energy around them, very painful. And I'm like, where am I now? Oh my God, this is supposed to be home, shelter for me. Wow. I don't know. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I have nothing. I have nothing. I don't have money. I don't have ID. There's no phones in 1991, especially not there. I don't know, is my mom is alive? What's going on? My twin sister and I are separated. My brother is on front line. My grandma's house was bombed. My best friend is dead. I have nothing.
Hmm.
And then I got like enlightening that says, oh, but I have something. I have clothes on my back. I have my heart. And then the real awakening happened. But my heart is full of hatred. I hate men. I hate my father. I hate Serbians. I hate war. I hate killing. I hate myself. And that's when I really woke up into, oh my God, I am part of the problem.
Hmm.
That energy, when I looked at me as not being any better or any different than them, those bad Serbians who are bombing us, because frankly, if I had a bomb at that consciousness level, I would bomb them too. How am I different? I am participating in the global insanity. And that's how what I'm doing now was born. No,
Hmm.
I didn't ask for it. I didn't plan on it. I wanted to be economist. I wanted to
Hmm.
travel the world and do numbers. I thought
Hmm.
this was fun. It just came to me that if I want to stop the war, I need to start with my heart. And if
Hmm.
I can make a goal that I will have a Serbian friend, forgiveness to my father, all these things that I did not have, thinking I'm righteous, protecting myself as a victim instead of being the light. So to me, that refugee time was full of incredible ideas all the time, incredible energies. Wow, because I was meditating for all this time. And then I continued that energy and I saw, almost like I saw, there is hell and there is heaven, and I can choose. But I cannot choose heaven if I have hell in my heart.
Hmm.
And this is why I decided if I want to stop the war in Croatia, I have to start with my heart.
Hmm.
And after all these years, I even became a nun
Hmm.
to devote my heart to God, to be pure, to make peace. Ultimately, I made peace in my heart, and I
Hmm.
help other people make peace in their hearts, in
Hmm.
their relationships, in their connections, one little world at a time.
Hmm.
And this is how I believe we actually can do this. And that's a little bit longer answer to your question of
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful answer. I had no idea. I had no idea that that's what was happening with you. And it's a quite an enlightening story that, in some ways the experience, the 30-day experience that you had with Maharishi and the people that we were with in order to learn meditation to cause world peace has something to do with who. I'm not sure if you would have been a refugee and not gone to the Maharishi, if the same outcome would have taken place. In some ways, you were embedded yourself. You were immersed in yourself and what the Maharishi had to say about love and about world peace for a whole month before you all of a sudden find yourself by default in a refugee camp outside of Croatia, fighting not only the Serbians who are there, and you're getting that you would bomb them as well, but getting your own heart, actually noticing that when you look inside, there's a hell raging inside you, a hell of hatred towards men, towards your dad, towards Serbians, towards a lot of things. And if you can't transpose that, then you're going to be stuck with a life of hell, just like everyone else who's just like you, including your adversaries and your enemies. So there's an opportunity for you to step in, and it sort of feels like that's the next insight, and maybe injected by God or injected by your work in India or wherever whatever it was, where you began to see the power of love as a central force in all of humanity and the route to heaven. And it makes sense that it's so embedded in your deep person. Like, I love, therefore I am makes a lot of sense on that back end of this story. So thank you so much for sharing it.
And I love how you simplified the whole story. Very, very check marky, very simple. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And the opportunity here is to get that. That's what the healthy healer is. The healthy healer is someone who has gone through their own trials and tribulations in life. There's somebody who wasn't always a healer, but always intended on eventually becoming a healer. So you went to India with the idea that you would eventually heal the world. You still had the intention to heal, even though you were living a hell in your heart, right? Like the opportunity to heal was still interesting to you even before you went through this transformation in the refugee camp. So,
I
but
believe because of my father, he was a very not a father figure. So I believe that was early on. I was forced, so to say, by circumstances in my house to try to figure out how do I survive this situation.
mm,
The brain on a survival works differently than a brain who is super comfortable.
mhm. Right. And, we might as well touch base on this. There's been a change with you and your dad in the last week or two, I understand. So are you willing to speak a little bit to that and where you are with that?
Yeah, he just died. Today was his funeral, and 3 days or so ago he died. And I didn't feel anything. And I had a conversation with my husband about it. So I posted on Facebook. My husband said, he said, "Why you not feel anything?" And I was like, nothing. I grieved the loss my whole childhood. So
Right.
I don't feel anything. I said, he did nothing good for anyone in the world.
Mm,
And my husband said, he did good to me.
right. Right.
That was so sweet.
And
And
our mutual friend Adam said it as well, that he was responsible for bringing you into the world. And even for that, we're all very grateful to your father to
it
have
was
you in the world.
30 seconds of effort in parenting. Good job, Daddy.
Yeah, exactly. Understand, understand. And it's different. It's a different perspective coming from the child. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's interesting. Sometimes we become amazing healers despite our upbringing. That it isn't,
But sometimes
maybe,
it's because of it.
what's that?
Sometimes it's despite upbringing, and sometimes it's because of that upbringing.
Exactly, exactly. And you could make a case here that it is, at least in no small part, because of, you know,
Yes. Yeah.
like that's the only route that you had to take. You was a rocky road, but you were given an opportunity to see what hell really felt like, and you had an opportunity to do either hell or heaven, and made a very wise choice. And we're glad you did to choose the heavenly route of
Yeah.
finding love in your heart, and then not only finding love in your heart, but then taking it upon yourself taking it upon yourself to show other people how to find love in their heart. And it's really fantastic. Yeah. You have what is your nickname? You have a nickname, right? You have a way you call yourself a love coach, or what is it that you remind me again how you go by in public when people ask you what you do?
Do I have a nickname? Really?
Or is it or maybe just what is your occupation? Let's put it that way.
Professionally, officially, I am androgynous semantic realignment specialist.
An indigenous semantic,
Androgyny, androgyny, female,
oh,
male,
androgynous.
semantic, verbal,
Hmm.
realignment specialist. So I
Okay.
help people use the words in foreign language to me, use the words that touch the essence of the person they are talking to.
Right.
So they can actually be heard and connected. Most of us, we live in a world like this, and we're trying to be understood. And I help people turn slowly towards each other and connect.
Hmm.
And using the words, even though words are only whatever 7% of our communication, they're really, really powerful.
Yeah, these words are powerful. Like an androgynous semantic realignment specialist. That's let's see,
It's a
a
mouthful.
ASRS is
Yeah.
what I guess it.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a mouthful, and the opportunity again is that by you sort of personify what it is that what it is that you teach. So there's an opportunity when people see you and see you on this podcast or see you in the streets or see you anywhere to get that, like that was said in the movie, like, I want what she has, and there's a real opportunity for people to see you with your smile, your giggle, your loving nature, and see that, that you have an infinite amount of love to give. And the possibility is that by getting in contact with you, we get the opportunity to actually share that love and learn for ourselves where love comes from.
Thank you. But
Yeah.
sometimes my love is not so flowery. Sometimes I can be tough.
Yeah.
I'm a Balkan. I can say what most people think, but don't dare to say.
I see.
I can just I can stop the room and people will be like, oh my God, she's crazy. Oh yeah, you all
Yeah.
think that, but I'm the only one who said it.
So that sounds like it comes from a space of maybe authenticity, and that there's something about being authentic and being in love as well. That the idea is just being raw and honest, and being genuine and authentic to what's really so. You might have to occasionally say some things that have some mightiness to it, or have some barbs associated with it, some fire breathing. Yeah. Beautiful.
My Dracula accent.
There you go. Your Dracula accent. Exactly. So now, if people want to work with you or want to follow you or want to learn from you, or is there a space where they can go to actually capture or get maybe a call with you or an opportunity to be taught by you?
Yes. It's helenasummer.com.
HelenaSummer.com. Easy enough.
Very simple. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And at that site, there's things waiting for them. They can get a discovery call, or how they get to see a little bit about what you're.
Discovery call. They can get Woman Up Manual. I have 4 really cool strategies for women to get everything they want from men.
That's fantastic.
It's really fantastic. I also have Love Glitch Matrix. It's also available for free download. It's pretty much a matrix that answers every question. Why do we have this problem? Why is he not calling back? Why are we fighting all the time? Why? Fill in the blank. And there are only 5 answers to why question. And to process the matrix, you just download it, you write your question, and you look at that matrix, and it requires a little bit of stillness that you really process and allow. Remember, my whole story started from inside, inner work. I cannot teach without slowing people down and processing for real.
Mindfulness, stillness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still a meditator? Are you still meditating?
Oh, God, yes. It
Yeah,
saved my life.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, Helena, it's really been great to have you on the podcast. I have one more question, which is, if you had one thing that you wanted all of my listeners and your listeners and maybe the whole world to know that you think a good advice perhaps, or something, maybe not advice, but a statement or a declaration. Is there one of those you have in mind that you could share with us at this time?
Life is short. Live delicious.
Beautiful.
Live delicious. I know it grammatically should be live deliciously. No, don't care for grammar. I don't spell live with L-I-V-E. I spell L-I-V because E stands for everything.
Okay.
Nobody has everything. E stands for easy. Nobody has it easy. But if you just live from open heart and you focus on what's delicious instead of all the crappy stuff, the shortness of life will have a deeper meaning. It will not be so short.
Really, really beautiful. I'm gonna take that on today. Thank you so much, and thanks for being a guest on the Healthy Healer. You've been a wonderful guest. You're simply beautiful. It's great to have your friendship with me, and I really appreciate everything you had to say. And thanks for sharing it with our listeners.
Much appreciation. Bye, everyone.
All right, bye everyone. Helena Summers, and we'll catch you all on the flip side. Bye for now.
Thank you.